There's a difference between psychology and spirituality. Yes, I thought I should make this video because I saw uh, a video where a man was explaining, where religion meets psychology. Yes, and his explanation of psychology was not what it is. I mean, he explained spirituality in place of psychology. Yes. Now, though I love the way he correlates the two and how they meet. Yes, the way he did it, I gave him a thumbs up. But his definition of what psychology was in that video is not what psychology entails. Yes, because he made mention of frequency, and that is not what psychology is. In an actual sense, frequency, when you hear about frequency, about rhymes, those are things that deals with spirituality in a broader sense. Though religion is also spirituality, but that is narrowed down to a religion. Religious is such spirituality is religious wise. But when you hear about frequency, it's talking about spirituality on a broader level scale now. Now, spirituality in a layman's, to put it in a layman's perspective, is anything logic cannot comprehend. When you use logic, you just cannot comprehend why and what. And also, the more you look, the less you understand. That is what spirituality entails. I mean, which is why when people do not understand things, they quickly attribute it to spiritual aspects. So anything that has to do with spirituality is something that logic, an average person cannot understand it. You with your logic, you cannot comprehend it. You have to be in it. You have to be attuned to it to actually understand where it's coming from. Now, which was what he was trying to explain. I mean, yes, that was what he was explaining. Frequency. When a person tunes into a frequency, he becomes that thing. Yes, we've read so many things about that. And if you listen to one or two people that talk about spirituality, that is what it entails. Yes. Now, psychology, on the other hand, psychology seeks to understand. Yes, psychology is all about how, all about what, all about how, why, and what. Yes, when there is no understanding of what led to what or how what led to what, that is not psychology. It is not part of the field. Yes, in a nutshell or in brief, I expect everybody to know this definition of psychology as the study of the human mind. Now, so anything that cannot be understood is not psychology. Psychology is all about understanding the cause. Why? Why is this so? Why is this here? Why is such behavior? Why is this happening? That is psychology. Spirituality, you do not understand. There is necessarily not an understanding. Yes, it will exist and a person might not understand why. There's a blurry line between these two, but there's a difference. These two things are not the same. One, it's obvious, and the other is not. Covered and overt. Overt, yes. Now, when you look at books like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, this is a book that used psychology to pass its message. I mean, Covey, if I get his name correct, used psychology to pass his message. If you read the book, remember, he talked about personality. He brought about personality, how personality can influence a person's perception and perspective. That is psychology. Yes. Now, when you look at a book like The Secret, this is a book that uses spirituality to pass its message. Yes, because this is a book that talk about the secret to money, the secret to love, the secret to so many things, mainly using this frequency in question. I mean, when you think it, it happens. When you sleep on it for a long time, it happens. You know, you don't really, it's not all about your intention, but all about the frequency you are tuning in. That is what spirituality. I just thought I should come here and leave this video for the sake of those who might also have that perception of spirituality as psychology.